You're going to make me cry before I start. Goodness. I see you. I see you. No more closed doors. I see your tears, and I see the pain on many of your faces. And I'm going to, of course, cry, so whatever. Okay. My name is Natasha Helfer Parker, and I'm a licensed family therapist and certified sex therapist and have been working with this population for over 20 years. I have authority. My authority comes from my expertise and having worked alongside hundreds, if not thousands, of members of our church in regards to these issues that we are addressing today. And every comment I'm going to make is backed by the science of trauma-informed care, every single one. Our children and teens deserve a spiritual home where we have done everything in our power to address any risk of sexual or emotional assault. This includes a mandatory cease of one-on-one, or even two-on-one, or 12-on-1, as is certain in disciplinary councils, interrogations behind closed doors, where sexually explicit questions are asked. It also includes seeking qualified national and international, I see you British people back there, I see all of you who've come from different countries and places in the world, and I see all of you who are listening to us through live feeds. Thank you for being with us. National and international expertise in implementing policies that meet best practice standards. There are many resources we are not tapping into. Our children and teens deserve a spiritual home where they are not shamed for healthy sexual feelings, thoughts, and actions. They deserve to go through these years of sexual development without guilt based on misinformation and the cinifying, yes, I like to make up words, the cinifying of normative behavior. Our children and teens deserve a spiritual home where gospel principles and trauma-informed mental health standards are not in conflict with one another. Our children and teens deserve a spiritual home where leaders and the organization as a whole walks the walk, not just talks the talk. If our young are expected to follow principles such as choosing the right and repenting for wrongdoing, that they can see clear examples of that coming from above. Our victims and survivors need and deserve an apology, partnered with adequate restitution attempts. And Elder Oaks, if you're in the business of ministry, please know, if you don't already, that apologies are necessary and healing. Our children and teens deserve a spiritual home where their worth is not measured by behavior. Our children and teens deserve a spiritual home where their service, attendance, and interest is welcomed, where we let them participate regardless of worthiness status, not based on porn shoulders, white shirts, and whether or not a kid touches their own body. Amen if they want to come to church. Amen if they want to go to the temple. Let them come. Our children and teens deserve a spiritual home where they are taught how to have firm, self-protective boundaries without being told that they are prideful, lacking of humility, or unrepentant. Today, I wear a charm bracelet carrying the tokens of a young woman's progress achievements. It represents years of devotion and service and Mormon identity in spite of the fact that she was brutally assaulted repeatedly in her own bishop's office. This young woman is only one of the hundreds of stories collected on the ProtectLDSChildren website and thousands of stories that remain silent. I carry it with awe and honor. In the name of all of our victims and survivors, myself included, as a representation that as members of this church, we have covenanted to bear each other's burdens and to follow the example set forth by Jesus Christ. And I don't know where Jesus Christ is doing one-on-one interviews in the scriptures. Jesus publicly declared sinners worthy of his love and protection, no closed-door inquisitions. He welcomed all to come unto him, especially the children. And if I recall correctly, he got pretty pissed off at the apostles who tried to keep them from him. He clearly set the challenge to those who would judge otherwise to, quote, cast the first stone. President Nelson, President Oaks, and President Eyring, as the first presidency of my church, I say stop the casting of stones at our children. Within our faith and belief structure, you have the priesthood power, revelatory right, and sustainment of our people to take these necessary steps immediately, in fact, this very weekend. We will continue to roar and rise and fight for the safety of our children and youth, holding powerful adults responsible until you do. Thank you.